We finally are getting what everybody has been asking for from Dragon Ball Super. It's finally come because 2024 now starts out with a bang in the Dragon Ball Super manga. New leaks just dropped showing exactly what happens in the new chapter, and it's not all about Goten and Trunks just being superheroes. Thank God, finally, something new. Toyotaro, for the first time in I think over 6 months, gets to put pen to paper and actually create brand new Dragon Ball Super content. Nothing that is recycled. This is stuff right after Superhero that we've never seen, and there's a lot to be covering here, especially when it comes to stuff with Goku, Vegeta, Broly. Even Beer is talking about making Goku the god of destruction. We get Beast Gohan returning again for the second time. This is insane. So this is the chapter summary. The chapter starts with Carmine and number 15 in black attire returning from Magenta's funeral because he's gone. With its base and most of its troops gone, the Red Ribbon Army is over, but Carmine notes that they still have funds to rebuild the army if they want to, but it's impossible with Piccolo and Gohan around if they're the ones who defeated Cell Max. Carmine and 15 left the base before Cell Max was activated, so they haven't seen what happened after that. Carmine and 15's car gets stuck in traffic as Saiyaman X1 Trunks fights bank robbers in the middle of the road. Carmine is surprised to see X1 send a robber flying with just one finger. Just then, X2 Goten also comes out of the bank, kicking another robber's ass. Carmine is amazed to see how easily they took care of the robbers. Carmine invites them to have a conversation at Red Pizza. The boys eat pizza as Carmine explains to them that he needs their help to defeat an evil guy, and in return he would reward them with money. X1 and X2 turn down the invite, so Carmine provokes them by saying that they're afraid of this strong evil guy. Trunks gets fired up, saying there's no one who can match our levels. Carmine tells them the same world-ending story, a secret organization planning to take over the Earth. Meanwhile, Goten poses for his fangirls. After thinking for some time, Trunks agrees to join Carmine in defeating the evil guy just because he wants to show Mai a video of some of his cool moments in the fight. So they leave for Gohan's house, which, I mean, Gohan, Beast Gohan, that's his name. I mean, technically he's got red eyes. Could be seen as a bad guy. It is cool here that we're like kind of getting like the exact same thing that Magenta did with Dr. Hito. Carmine's doing the exact same thing to Trunks and Goten, but as soon as they see Gohan, they're going to know the jig is up, and they're going to know that something's up. Nobody really saw Carmine at the facility besides, say, maybe Piccolo, so no one's going to recognize him. I understand this portion of it. Honestly, I don't give a shit about Carmine or the Red Ribbon Army, but this kind of swaying of kind of trying to send Goten and Trunks to their doom, because obviously they're no match for Gohan in the slightest whatsoever, is really interesting. I actually don't mind that this is the portion of the story that still has its roots connected not only to superhero Goten and Trunks, but also the Red Ribbon Army. But here's where the juice is at. At Beerus' planet, we see Vegeta versus Broly. Broly fires a series of blasts, but Vegeta deflects them easily, then sneaks behind him and whispers in his ear with a proud smile, "Are you going to get mad? Or are you going to go mad, Broly?" He takes Broly's punch right on his face and says, "There's nothing wrong with being angry. Anger is a source of power for all Saiyans. The only problem with it is if you lose control of yourself." Vegeta then transforms into a Super Saiyan. "Don't suppress your rage, control it." Vegeta keeps provoking Broly to go berserk in order to stand a chance against him, but Broly suppresses the rage within him, which this is really cool training. I'm glad that it's not just Goku training him. I'm glad that Vegeta's stepping in. Vegeta already had a 1v1 against Broly. He did magnificent until Broly kind of went into Ikari and lost control. I'm glad that we're getting some version of that, something that we can kind of sink our teeth into. A Broly versus Vegeta fight is not something that I immediately thought of was going to happen after the arc that we just had, because I felt like maybe he'd want to push the story further than that. But literally, it's the same thing that we've been doing since Moro and Granola. These stories are just coming right off. They're rolling right off the other. I'm telling you right now, Dragon Ball Daima is going to be made in the manga. I can already see it. They're going to have, Daima's going to come out in the anime, and then we're going to have a manga version of that maybe a little bit after. Or Yeah, probably a little bit after, I would say. Before doesn't make any sense. A little bit after, I'm guaranteeing it to you. Goku worries that Broly might actually go berserk again, but Whis notes that things have changed a little. Goku doesn't understand what Whis means by this. Broly soon gains the upper hand in a fight. Vegeta lowers his ki and hides behind a tree, but Broly takes a moment to think and hits Vegeta. Goku and Whis are both happy to see Broly's progress, but now the real training begins as Vegeta notes that it's good he's not getting mad during the fight, but if he doesn't, he can't show his true strength, so Broly needs to figure out a way to bring out his true strength. Goku suggests him to go to Super Saiyan as well, but Broly says it's difficult for him to do that because then he probably will lose control. So all this stuff is good. All this Broly training is fantastic. This is the direction that I want Dragon Ball Super to go. We're literally kind of tying a knot between Broly and, as you will see here in a minute, Black Frieza and Beast Gohan. Like, it all fits perfectly here, and I'm glad that this is the direction that they're going finally. Something good to praise the Dragon Ball Super manga on. Lemmo gives water to Goku, Vegeta, and Broly. Chilai enters the scene. Chilai, geez, you guys are so carefree. Say, what would you do if Frieza showed up here right now? Black Frieza, you said it was a nightmare, right? Goku stops drinking his water and takes a moment to think. Yeah, it's a nightmare. He's a bad guy. But he's so amazing. He trained and surpassed us in short time, which... always Goku glazing his enemies. Beerus cuts in and tells Goku that there'd always be someone above him, so just needs to continue training. Beerus, if you can surpass me, I will recommend you to become the next God of Destruction. But I have no interest in becoming a God of Destruction, says Goku. Goku does not care one iota about becoming a God of Destruction. He don't give a shit. He don't want it. He could do without it, and honestly, more power to Goku. If Goku doesn't see that path as his path, and yet he wants to continue going the path of the angel, then that's his prerogative. If Vegeta wants to go down that path, that's also his prerogative. But this is the first time we're kind of seeing Beerus, at least in the manga, because in the anime he said something about other people becoming gods of destruction, or kind of being wary, like, you're not trying to become god of destruction, are you, kind of thing, something like that. He's mentioned it before in the anime, not really in the manga, but this is the first time he's actively being like, hey, I mean, maybe you could become the next god of destruction. I could have a runner-up. Beerus honestly having somebody in mind to become god of destruction like that, I'm not saying Beerus should be out of the equation as God of Destruction, but it would be interesting to see what that process officially looks like in Dragon Ball Super, because we haven't gotten any confirmation. We've seen things like Kakami do it, but in Dragon Ball Super, we don't have any clue as to how that happens. So if we got some information on that, that would be fantastic. Some more nuggets of wisdom from Dragon Ball Super giving us information on lore that we don't know yet. Plus, at the same time, Beerus is a character that really is losing his agency, he's losing the purpose of why he's even in the story. He was in the story to push our heroes ahead and push them forward, but he's got no storyline of his own. It'd be cool for him to have a storyline of his own, or something that he would be a challenge for him to overcome, or something that he'd find interesting. It would just be interesting if there were more to Beerus' character than just, I want to eat some food. Beerus asks Whis about the situation on Earth as he sensed danger earlier. Whis explains to him that a terrifying monster, Cell Max, had appeared. This is all brand new shit right here, but Goku's son and Piccolo, along with others, defeated it. Beerus doesn't remember Goku's son. I mean, that I don't remember Goku's son, but it is interesting that Beerus doesn't remember Goku's son, because the entire movie was about, I mean, basically the second half was about Gohan. So if they're focusing on that aspect, that Beerus doesn't remember him, it could show like that Beerus may like be interested in Gohan, almost like oh, so you're Goku's son, like seeing some importance in him now that he can go beast, basically, which we're gonna see here in a minute. He can go beast at will, which is just insane. I figured it would be something that he'd have to, like, you know, I feel like I had such low expectations for the future of Gohan that I was assuming that they were gonna hide Beast for a very long time after the movie and after this manga arc and not let him go into it. But as you're gonna see here in a minute, nah, that ain't the case at all. Like, not even for minor transgressions, that ain't the case at all. And I think that he's gonna have a bigger part to play in the story here in a minute. But Beerus asks Whis about the situation. She just says Bulma said that Gohan was so great at that time that he might have surpassed us. Goku's like, whoa, wish I could have seen that. Well, I was in the middle of a fight with Vegeta, so I didn't know what was going on. Vegeta, Fufu, alright, that fight where you lost to me. So we got confirmation that Goku did lose, but also it's kind of weird that, you know, Goku didn't feel Beast Gohan at this time, because he will feel him in a minute, like in his ki. And like, I don't know, to me I feel like they're dulling Goku's senses to right around the fact that he didn't sense Gohan, basically. I feel like there's been many instances, even with Goku, where he's in the middle of training or fighting, and then he senses a huge power, and then he stops. So this is a bad excuse for not letting that happen, in my opinion. But I think that Toyotaro's just literally trying to ride around us. Like, he understands that Goku didn't stop and Vegeta didn't stop right away to go face off against Cell Max, so he's got to write a reason for it. And Goku being lost in the fight, like mentally lost in the fight with Vegeta and just not focusing on anything else, is the only plausible reason that he could have. Anything else would have just been silly. Like, and this is still silly, but it makes more sense. But there are times that Goku has just stopped and been like, whoa, what is that power level over the horizon, you know? So, you know, that's something that Goku can do. Back on Earth, Goten and Trunks have almost reached their destination. Goten realizes it's the same area where Gohan lives, but start to worry as they've been sneaking out to be heroes during school time. Upon reaching the location, Goten and Trunks are scared, so they don't leave the car. Carmine comes... Oh my god. Alright, so yeah... Okay, you're already riding Goten and Trunks just so terribly. Whatever. Carmine goes out and fires blank shots in the air. Gohan comes out running it in his study outfit. He catches the bullets from Carmine's gun. Gohan recognizes Carmine number 15 to be the kidnappers of Pan. Gets angry to go beast, breaks his glasses. The pressure of his ki creates a big hole in the garden. So that's what I'm talking about. Against Carmine, who kidnapped... Maybe he did recognize him. He was there. Actually, now remembering, he was there. So he sees Carmine, the guy who kidnapped Pan, and number 15, I guess, is his subordinate. And so he's like, he's losing it. He basically lost it, and he goes into Beast, which... it looks great, to be honest with you. It even looks great in his study clothes. Like, I'm really happy that we get to see Beast Gohan again so fast after we've just seen it before, and that even though Gohan is going back to training or going back to studying and basically teaching and going back to his normal job, he hasn't lost the edge to go into Beast. It's really soon after, but still. And plus, he's got the added incentive that he's so mad at these two kidnappers for putting his baby girl in danger. So this is just such a great portion of it. I don't like the fact that Goten and Trunks are scared to go in there, because like, they weren't scared at all. Like, they weren't scared in Dragon Ball Z at all for nothing. Nobody, none of them are scared. Don't know why you're scared as adults. I don't get it. But I think this is lazy writing to make it so that Carmine comes out of the car and shoots blanks instead of, you know what I'm saying, to bring Beast Gohan out. So if the trade to make Goten and Trunks be Courage the Cowardly Dog is that we get Beast Gohan in his comfy clothes, I'm fine with that trade, because Beast Gohan is the future, and Goten and Trunks really have nothing else going on besides this. So yeah, I think that answers itself. That's a pretty good explanation. Gohan's Beast Ki is so big that Goku and Vegeta sense it on Beerus' planet, just like I told you. Vegeta, Kakarot, could it be? Goku's like, this key, it can't be. Carmine calls out the Saiyamen to fight Gohan, but they don't. Gohan notices Goten and Trunks and asks them to explain what they're doing with the Red Ribbon Army. Alright, that's awesome. Because Gohan's like, I'm about to kill this guy. Do I have to kill you guys too? Like, are you guys part of this crew? Because you really want to attack me, come for it. But he probably understands they don't understand what's going on. So Goten and Trunks are two more heroes, just like Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, that have been corrupted basically by this organization, which needs to be gone after this chapter. And so I'm glad that Gohan's calling them out, basically. Gohan goes back to his base form, and just then Goku comes to Earth as he teleports on top of the car and says, "Yo everyone, it's been a while, isn't it?" The chapter ends. And the editor's note is Goku appears in a somewhat complicated situation. Is Goku thinking about doing that? Meaning that, is he thinking about training or fighting Gohan? We could very well be seeing the start of a mini arc where Goku versus Gohan in Beast. We could also be seeing Beast Gohan be the future. That Beast Gohan is what actually helps Broly transform into his Super Saiyan state, because Beast Gohan, I mean, it's in the name, and so he needs to control his anger. What better person to help him do it? Somebody who's called Beast Gohan, and is almost like a calmness to him, but a calm rage that doesn't go out of control. Great. This is one of the best summaries I've had since, I don't even know, like the Granola arc maybe. Like, this is one of the best summaries I've had to read, and I'm so happy it looks like Dragon Ball's back on top because I'm so fucking happy that this is coming out. This is gonna come out next. Like I'm gonna review this chapter. I need to see this chapter, so keep an eye out for that, guys. But let me know what you guys think. Is Dragon Ball back?
Subscribe for more content.